All right. There we go. We're live. Bang. All right. See if I can get this to work. All right. We're live. Beautiful. All right. Here we go. Check this out. Oh man, this looks awesome. All right, we're testing some stuff here. All right, so we're doing a fish print on this grouper, and the main trick here with these grouper is that it's got to be padded. Well, just not just a grouper, but any fish in general, is that it's got to be padded dry, very dry. So we're gonna try to keep this camera steady. Looks pretty good. And we're gonna be doing the filleting on it as well. But the main trick is to really get these fish dry before you paint them. Okay. This one's got a bunch of slime and slobber in them. And as long as the outside is dry, that's good. Alright. And you're going to try to get all these fins. So there's different techniques to all of this, okay? Obviously, the main thing is get it dry, paint it, not too much paint, not too little. You want to really dry this thing out on the surface. But people will, you know, staple the fins and all that. But I have come to find out, like, see these, you have fins that kind of engage at the top, and that can be really tough to get these to stay out. But what you can do is just kind of finesse it, you know, like that right there. So you finesse it, boom, try to keep it out. So you'll put like toothpicks in there or something, you know, whatever. But we got them pretty dry. I mean, you really want this thing dry. Okay. And he's pretty good. I had that paper towel laying on him for a little bit, so that'll help a lot. Alright. Get them real dry here. And the thing is, as they're sitting here, they're kind of excreting more oil and slime out of them as you're going, so you kind of want to get it done. And I've found that the pat is the best, so that's pretty good. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna paint them. So we'll get a little paintbrush. Normally I have a big roller for other stuff, but for our purposes this will be fine. Get some paint on there. You want to start with the little and then go more if you need to. And you don't want the paint to look smeared. You want it to look kind of uniform. Okay, So we're just kind of getting everything set up. We can go back with some more. See, once it starts smearing, then you know, okay, we're having problems. So get a glove, you'll kind of even that out. Trying to keep my table somewhat paint free. Doesn't really matter, obviously the table's the least of my concern, but this is a important grouper because out of all the years I've been fishing, you know, I don't get to keep a lot of fish. I'm on charters, I'm helping people catch dinner, and this was on a friend's trip during our tournament. Okay. And we caught this, my buddy, well, it was a team effort, we'll call it that, but my buddy helped me catch this grouper while we were dealing with a bunch of craziness, and I got to take it home. He got one a little bigger than this, and yeah, you don't want this thing to dry out. So when we pull the fins on the top, we'll get up in there, and if you get some paint on yourself, it's fine. The paint I use comes off pretty easily. It's non-toxic, so I'm supposed to be. Huh. Whatever that means, right? So we'll kind of, you want to really get the fins or the spines coated very well, because those are going to be hard to press on these low angles once I lay the paper, and you'll see how this is going to come out. Alright. So we're just getting all around his mouth and everything. After we're done painting them, we'll wash them, we'll clean them. And the paint's not going to become a problem on the meat, because, you know, we're going to clean them right afterwards, and we're going to skin it anyways. I don't always skin all my fish, but when I paint them like this, yeah, we'll obviously skin them. And then get under that fin, but under the fin is not going to be as important as the actual fin itself. And then this part right here, you know, like, we're going to need some more paint. We'll put some more paint on here. And we'll go over this like one more time just to make sure that you don't want any lumps in the paint. You don't want any thick spots in the paint. You want to have everything laying nice and flat. And we can do multiple prints. We can see what happens here, but you want to get all this nice. Keep using your brush. You don't want to over saturate your brush. See, like this right here, we'll lift that from underneath to help us print that part right there. And it's kind of one of those things, is like once you over brush, you can get a little discouraged because it won't look right, yada yada. But let's give this a shot. I got faith in this one right here. Okay, done. Close that. Alright, so now we're gonna need to, different types of paper that you can use. I like using this paper. It's just basic paper you can buy at Walmart. And don't worry about the tag end too much. Just press the top layer down as much as you can, and you gotta be careful not to break your paper. There's his eye. Alright. Get this fin up right here. Oh, we broke our paper, so we just gotta be careful about that. Get the face, get the mouth real solid, and then we'll lift it up. Okay. And this is pretty cool. So now I'll show you. Bang. Now, could have been done better. Now we want to lay that out to dry. But honestly, it's pretty cool. You know, and a lot of the scales showed up. It's a little more, you know, I'm more on the abstract version of things. So, but what you can do, I want to try something here. This is the rice paper. I want to see how this works after a regular print. Oh yeah. Look at that. All right. So that'll be like a little more abstract, a little darker, and then this one's gonna be a little more to actual, you know, size, scale. Really nice the way that one turned out, actually. Okay, so we'll let that one dry. That one looks all right. A little deformed, but I think we were a little too heavy on the ink, and also these are tough because they stay moist, which can be hard. Okay, let's do this. My wife wants me to try this fabric, which I have no idea where it is. Hey, where is that fabric?
I gave it to
Just this little piece?
Yeah, and then look, if it works, I'll give you the big. I'll give you the big.
Oh, yeah. Alright, so we're just gonna test this and see what happens here. Yeah, we're just gonna try a little here. Yeah, that could work. Alright. So, anyways. Yeah, maybe. No, I'm not. This one's gonna be too tough. It doesn't have, like on a sheep's head or something, yeah. Or a snapper. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Phew. So now the fun part. We gotta clean this sugar. All right. Alright. Now for the fun part. Put this up. Alright. Put this away. So I just got news that tournament just got updated for a new tournament coming in. Alright, here we go. Let's turn some lights on. Bang. Alright. Here we go. The fun part begins. Alright, boom. Done. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to just show you how I normally clean all my fish. And this is not the fast way, but this is how I do it to do the pretty way. And you're going to see that skin will just peel right off if I want it to. Alright, so we got our perforation up the back along the spine, nice and easy. What I'm going to do here is a big cut that's going to lead me all the way to my top cut here. And this thing's really slimy, so, and I'm cutting towards my thumb, but okay, bang, done. And then we'll go under this. Okay, boom. And then I'll take this belly. What I'll do is I'll flip this sucker around. I like to flip everything around. Get a feel for it, nice and easy. And I'll go do the same thing I'm doing now that I did on the top. Perforation. And then before I do anything, I'll do the same thing on the other side of this fish. Oh, there's some blood. So I'll flip them around and I'll do the same thing up top here, where I'm just making that preparation along the spine, and I'm not going super deep. Just cutting in a little bit. And we'll go to about there again. Find this area. Bang. Done. Done. And I don't know. Sometimes you eat this belly fat, sometimes not. Depends. You can eat the throat. You can cut out the cheeks, which we'll probably do on this. Right, now we have the preparation done. What we're gonna do is we're gonna peel this skin back, and we're gonna nicely work our blade around on top of all the spines. And as we're peeling back, we're just letting that knife do the work. And then you'll get to the spinal cord, which is rounded, so it's kind of tough. You gotta work your way just around it. And then we can go back, do this. And we might have messed up a little bit, but now we're good. Boom, perfect, actually. And then what we'll do is, well, I usually just brush this off, but if you wanted to take the skin off, well, for these, it's usually a little easier, but we're not gonna mess with it too badly. And sometimes what you can do is just cut a hole, in little finger hole in the skin. And sometimes when it wants to, well, when it wants to, it'll just rip the skin right off. But the problem being is that we've now lost some of our meat onto the skin. So, but that's fine because that's just a little bit of the belly meat. No big deal. Skin came off clean. I don't always do that, but for this sake, we are doing it. And then we'll just get in here. I break the ribs right off. And you're gonna see this turn out into a beautiful, beautiful piece of meat here. Really nice. Okay. Boom. Beautiful. And that's like super, super freaking clean. As clean as you're gonna get it. And if we wanted to, we could take that belly meat off, eat it, do whatever we want. We'll feed it to the fish. Alright. Now, we still got to do our other side here. So let's wrap this mess up. Put down a new sheet. So one thing you got to have a lot of. And I'll tell you what I didn't do, which I normally do, which is, and what we can do is actually, while this meat is still attached, we're going to go ahead and rip this skin off as well. This grouper skin just comes right off, I'm telling you. It literally just comes right off. Not all the fish are like that. Poke our little hole here. That gives us a nice grip. And you can do another hole here. Keep giving yourself that optimal grip spot. Okay. Beautiful. Now we got our fillet. What we're gonna do is, so normally what I do is I leave the other side on until I'm done cleaning this side fully, because it'll leave everything intact for me. But when you see the finished product, and my mouth is literally watering as I'm doing this. This meat is just so beautiful. When you see the finished product, you'll see that, you know, this might not be the fastest way, but it sure as heck is a nice way to do it, where you don't have to worry about losing a lot of meat. Okay. Grab this here. Be careful because these things have a bunch of spikes and bones. There's our finished fillets. And we'll give you a full live view of our finished product. Skin on. Let's cut this off. Yeah, I mean, you're only just when you rip the skin off like that, you're not really losing much. Now we can also cut out the cheekbones, which we'll probably do with this. But let me just show you this. Guts intact. Okay. Full finished product. And you can see right through that sucker. Okay. I mean, that's it right there. That's the way you do it. And you got two beautiful fillets, which are just, look at, let's just show you the one. They both look the same, but you got two beautiful fillets with the belly meat all intact too if you wanted it. Let's see if I can get you. Beautiful. Okay. Now, this is the tricky part. These are the cheeks, the cheek meat. And cheek meat's tough to get to. But once you kind of have an idea of where it's at, you know, you can definitely get it out. And let me tell you, this cheek meat, it ain't a lot, but it's really freaking good. And it's like a little scallop or something, you know. Like literally this right here is what you want. That little tiny piece of meat is what you want. That's the cheek meat. And let me tell you, man, it is so freaking good. It is so freaking good. And it just came right out, and we got almost all of it. We could have gone a little deeper here, but not by much. I mean, we're talking a fraction of what, you know, we're talking microscopic amount. Okay, and then you've also got these, which is the collar. You can eat this. I don't do it, but you know, you can cut this collar meat out. And honestly, if you just cut the collar out with the fins, you can cook that and eat around the fins. You can eat that meat right there too. But I mean, what are you gonna do? You know, that's up to the person eating the fish. But I mean, yeah, you got some collar meat. Like I said, you can cut that whole thing out, eat the collar, but we're not gonna do all that. Alright, so bang, done, done. And then what we'll do is we'll get this other cheekbone, which is, you know, a little tough to get, but like I said, once you get this meat out, which can be tough, you know, tough to get it out. But it is definitely, it's worth the 30 seconds, you know, I think. Bang, I mean, that's all you're going for, is that little piece of meat. You sear that up, it's like melting your mouth. Alright, and that's probably because that's where their jaws are and they use those the most, I'm guessing. Okay. Alright. Now all this needs to be thrown away, bagged up, fillets in the fridge, whatever you're going to do with them, marinate them, saute them. Alright. We're out. God bless you guys. Captain Hilton Head live action. We got the fish prints sitting on the deck, and we're super excited. We'll see you on the next one.